share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime. We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us, walking with us, staying with us. Now, as we move, we want to invite you to own a share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime. We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us, walking with us, staying with us. Now, as we move, we want to invite you to own a share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime. We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us, walking with us, staying with us. Now, as we move, we want to invite you to own a share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime. We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us, walking with us, staying with us. Now, as we move, we want to invite you to own a share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime. We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us, walking with us, staying with us. Now, as we move, we want to invite you to own a share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime. We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us, walking with us, staying with us. Now, as we move, we want to invite you to own a share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime. We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us, walking with us, staying with us. Now, as we move, we want to invite you to own a share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to very specially welcome you. But to get us started, shall we arise for the national anthem?
We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us.
The national anthem, please.
Nigeria's call,
obey to serve. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for yourselves as you return to your respective seats. I didn't get that round of applause. Please, if you are excited to be here, if you are excited to be part of this event, please, one more time, a round of applause for yourselves. We'd like to welcome our friends. We'd like to welcome the management of MTN. Those who came in from Lagos, please let us show them the Kano hospitality. One more time, a round of applause for the MTN team. Thank you very much, our guests and our hosts. Wow, we appreciate you for coming. My name is Ajebo. I am a broadcaster, and it is indeed my pleasure and honor to stand before you this afternoon. I promise you, on behalf of the organizers, a very, very smooth event. To get us started, I'd like to make some very important introductions. Permit me to introduce, very specially this afternoon, the CEO, MTN Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Car Toriola. Sir, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Is this your first time in Kano, sir? You're welcome home. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I also like to very specially recognize the presence of the Chief Financial Officer, the CFO, Mr. Modupe Kadiri. Mr. Modupe, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to very quickly and respectfully recognize the presence of Mr. Temi Popola, the Chief Executive Officer, MTN Nigeria Limited. MTN Nigeria. I'm sorry, please. He is the Chief Executive Officer at Nigeria Exchange Limited. You're welcome. Am I forgiven, sir? Yes. Thank you very much. I apologize for that mix-up. Ladies and gentlemen, also seated very comfortably in front of you this evening is Mr. Jallo Waziri. Mr. Jallo is the Chief Executive Officer, Central Securities Clearing Systems. Sir, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to recognize everyone in the manner which appeals most to them. Once again, thank you very much, Kano. You are welcome. I'd like to go straight to the business of the day. Permit me to invite for the first remarks this afternoon, Mr. Jallo Waziri, the Chief Executive Officer, Central Securities Clearing System. Sir, the microphone is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start by saying that we are extremely happy to be here in Kano. I'm sure for those who know our market will be wondering what is CSCS sitting down trying to promote and offer, especially the fact that we're known to be the clearing house for the markets, which means when a trade has finished occurring, all of the bilaterals have occurred, then we at the CSCS at the back end settle both cash and securities. And so for the first time, some of you are probably hearing about us, but the question is, why are we here? It's simply the fact that the way and manner this offer is being done is the first time. In terms of the structure, the first time we're seeing an end-to-end digital solution for an offer. Secondly, MTN being the most, I was corrected earlier on, company that has the highest revenue in the market, not the most capitalized. Apparently the most capitalized, as we know, is Dangote Cement. But having said that, a revolutionary thing is happening. MTN is offering to the retail investors a significant chunk of the shares that is owned by their holding company or their parent company. And we felt that, you know, understanding that this is the first time we're using such a structure, it's important that some of us come and join them in supporting the experience of, in supporting the fact that this offer is unique, and this offer is the beginning of how the market will look like in future. And you know, it was important that we come. And if there are questions or clarifications that need to be done from our side, hence we're sitting here. But I must assure you, understanding that this is retail, understanding this is Kano, it is important that we individually look at this offer. You already have MTN shares, MTN SIM cards in your phones. You pay subscriptions, or you pay airtime for these services. This is an opportunity for you to own part of what you pay. I know if I look at the data in the CSCS where we hold significant data reaching back 20 years, I must say, if you take the demography of who are the people that buy the most shares in Nigeria, certainly, despite the population of Kano, it's not. And so I think this is a unique opportunity for you to begin to be part of the market. I can see, you know, Dr. Farouk is here, who is a legendary shareholder association advocate, and I'm sure he can tell you more about the benefits of owning investments in the market. But most especially, this particular offer is unique. It's an opportunity. I'm sure the CEO and the CFO will tell you about the company, how they're doing their performances, and what's at stake. But I implore you to please take a look at this offer, and I will suggest that you fully participate. With that said, thank you very much, and I guess I would say the offer has opened already. I think you should just begin to look at it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. The Chief Executive Officer, Central Securities Clearing Systems, Mr. Jallo Waziri. Thank you very much for that insightful speech. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce another key player, Mr. Temi Popola. Mr. Temi Popola is the Chief Executive Officer, Nigeria Exchange Limited. Please, a round of applause for him.
Thank you very much. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. It gives us a lot of pleasure to be here this afternoon. And I think with my very brief remarks, I would like to go back in time and ask a simple question that says that what is one of the reasons why we haven't seen a lot of investors in the market today? And many people will date it back to the events and activities of about 12 years ago during the crisis. And it's important to understand what happened at that time. At that time, you had a break in confidence in the market because the regulation environment was very weak at the time. And as Mr. Waziri pointed out earlier during our earlier meeting, that has changed materially today. So at the time, a lot of the intermediaries, the stockbrokers, the companies that were being brought to the exchange, the regulation guiding was quite weak at the time. It led to the market crash and really broke investor confidence. I think it's important to realize that today, that sort of environment cannot repeat itself. The regulation by the apex regulator, the SEC, is extremely strong today. Our market is extremely well governed and regulated. And the exchange itself has actually taken the business and issue of regulation very seriously by setting up a separate company, NGX Regulation, simply for regulating the market. So that's the first thing I thought we should address. The second thing, of course, was the quality of the companies that came to the exchange. You had companies that would come and promise dividends and promise returns, and those returns never came. Today, it's one of the things that gives us a lot of joy when we see MTN come into the market. Many of you will know that MTN did listing in 2019, and the share price then was 91 Naira. Just before this deal was announced, the share price had doubled in 2 years. Just before this deal was announced, as the CFO and the CEO will show shortly, the amount of dividends that MTN has paid in that time is more than the total revenue of many banks in Nigeria, the dividend that they paid out. So here we are with a company that not only gives you this opportunity for really making money, it's also one of the best run companies in this country today. So when you think about governance, accountability, transparency, there are fewer companies that can check and tick all of those boxes. And so for us as an exchange, you can see why we're so excited about this offer. The other thing I will mention is that it's the first time in the history of our market that you will be able to, on your phone in this room, whether you've ever bought shares or you've never bought shares, in 3 minutes, you can, on this phone right here, right now, get access to this deal. You would get a broker assigned to you. You will pick the number of shares you want to buy. You can pay right here on your phone, whether with your card or with a transfer, and you go immediately to the book. End of discussion. It's a very, very big feat for our market. And MTN and this transaction has been quite influential in getting our markets to this place where you call it an end-to-end digital process. So I will conclude my remarks by saying that we can assure you as an exchange that there's a reason we're throwing our weight behind this offer. It is an offer that we think will revolutionize the Nigerian capital markets. And I think more importantly, it's an offer from which you can make money. Your family can make money. Your loved ones can make money. You can buy shares for your sister, for your friend, for your cook, for your house help. They would always remember that. And as the CFO will speak to you shortly, the barrier that you need to cross to participate is just about 3,000 naira to participate in this offering. So I just want to encourage everybody before we go into the presentations. This is a great moment. It's an opportunity for our approach and attitude to investing to change. Just like Mr. Waziri said, people like Dr. Farouk, who are veterans in investing, who would have lots of positive stories to tell. We think this is a unique opportunity for other people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The Chief Executive Officer, Central Securities Clearing System, Chief Executive Officer, Nigeria Exchange Limited. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And he said in just 3 minutes, you can try that right away. The website where you can access this very unique opportunity is right here, www.mtnonline.com/PO, public offer. You can try that right away. And I know you will not have reason to regret. Thank you very much. At this point, we'd like to hear the MTN story. We also like to know the plans for the future. And there is no better person to do this for us this afternoon than the CEO MTN Nigeria, Mr. Toriola. Thank you very much, sir. We are ready to hear from you.
Assalamu alaikum. In MTN, we say yellow. It's a great honor and pleasure to be back in Kano. I'm born and bred Nigerian. My name is Carl Olutokun Toriola. I was born almost 50 years ago in Seventh-day Adventist Hospital, Ile-Ife, and I did my primary, secondary, and university education in the University of Ife campus. I speak but a very few words of Hausa, Kadang. But I want to thank you all sincerely from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to spend with us today. Before I go on into the substance of talking to you about MTN Nigeria, I want to recognize some eminent personalities in the house. Alhaji Farouk Umar, a member of the board of directors of NGX, and the president of the Association for the Advancement of Rights of Nigerian Shareholders. Baba, welcome to the house, sir. Alhaji Hamza Fanda, CEO of Fantel Nigeria Limited, one of our major trade partners here in this region. We thank you for supporting us today. Alhaji Faisal Imam, CEO Airtime Networks Limited, another trade partner. We thank you for supporting us. Alhaji Mohammed Bello, CEO of BelloKano.com, another partner of ours. And Alhaji Shoaibu Dairu, GM SDU Bailey, another SRA. Thank you. The first city we went to was the city of Sokoto on the road show. Before we go to the rest of Nigeria, Kano is the second city. We went to pay respects to His Eminence, the Sultan. And we are very proud and pleased to make Kano the second city that we are attending to in terms of our road show. Because this is a huge economy. And if we don't win in Kano, you don't win anywhere in Nigeria. Particularly since a major objective of ours is to get as many retail shareholders to participate in this offer and to become shareholders of MTN Nigeria. MTN Nigeria is part of a large group, probably the largest operator in emerging markets. We have 272 million subscribers, 119 million active data users, 51 million mobile money customers, and we're in 20 countries across the Middle East and Africa. We are number 1 in most of our markets, 14 out of 20, and we are perceived to be the most innovative across all of our markets. In terms of MTN Nigeria specifically, we have 68 million subscribers. We believe that everyone, every village, every citizen, every human in Africa where we operate, and of course our Middle Eastern countries, deserves the benefits of a modern, connected life. And we want to drive the leading digital solutions which will help Nigeria's advancement and progress. In Nigeria, we're number 1 by a long distance with just over 50% of market share. On the stock exchange, probably outside of the oil industry, possibly inclusive of the oil industry, we have the largest revenue of any company in Nigeria. We're the second largest listed company in Nigeria by market capitalization, second only to Dangote Cement. And my CFO and the excellent finance company secretarial team, risk management team, have enabled us to get a AAA rating by GCR. Now, in MTN Nigeria, MTN Groups holds about 79% of this company, shareholding of this company. And the balance is held by a mix of investors, Nigerian investors, institutional investors, and individuals. What MTN Group is doing is selling down their stake from just under 79% to 65% in 3 phases. And there's only one objective for this sell down of stake. I'm sure Alhaji Umar, being an expert in reading income statements, will know that our balance sheet is extremely strong and we don't need any funding. It is the genuine intention and wish of MTN Group and MTN Nigeria that as many Nigerians as possible will participate in the growth of value that we're going to generate in the future, as some have participated in the past. We want to spread the joy, as we say in Nigeria. So there are 575 million shares being offered for sale in this Series 1 at a price per share of 169 Naira. I'm going to say it after Temi has said it, and then my CFO will say it again. You only need about 3,318 Naira to buy into the shares. And for that, you will get 20 shares. And if you hold them for up to 1 year, you will get a bonus share 1 year after the transaction is closed. As I said, we're number 1 operator, just around 65 million subscribers. We have 33.2 million active data users, and that's going very fast. The difference between the total number of subscribers and the active data users is important because it shows you there's still a lot of growth to come in this business, in this country, in terms of data consumption. We have 6.6 million mobile money users. We cover 69% of the population of Nigeria with 4G, high-speed broadband, high-speed internet. But we are still going to accelerate that towards over 80% in the short term. 81.7% is covered with 3G. And actually, out of the total population of Nigeria, our coverage is about 89.4%. That means we still have approximately 20 to 22 million people in Nigeria that do not have access to telephony services. We will be rolling out rural solutions into the hamlets and villages across Nigeria to ensure that these people get online as well. And of course, that means an increased customer base and revenue for MTN Nigeria. We benefit from strong and unmatched expertise of MTN Group. We are a big part of MTN Group, the biggest part of MTN Group. We have the largest distribution network to get our products and services out, and we have a very strong partner ecosystem, many of which I've mentioned that are present here. Is the presentation on the screen? Can you just give me? Excellent. So I'm going to speak to our board of directors, which you can see there. Our board of directors is a mix of very experienced governance experts in various fields, partially Nigerians and partially the executives of MTN Group. So along with me, in terms of MTN Group, is of course my best in the world CFO, Mudukwe Kadri, who is the CFO and an executive director, but group executives, including the group CEO, group CFO, group COO, group CTO, and my immediate predecessor, the group chief risk officer. Why are they important? As they represent the biggest shareholder, they make sure that we are performing and creating value. But if you come into a country and you don't understand the local context, and you don't have the best advice possible, you can make a lot of mistakes. So the board is chaired by Dr. Ernestine Dukwe, OFR, formerly the executive vice chairman of the NCC. We have legal experts, like one of the indigenes of Kano, the learned Silk, A.B. Mahmoud, senior advocate of Nigeria, who's on our board, M.K. Ahmad, Michael Ajuku, seasoned corporate banker and investor, Mr. Andrew Ali, who was the founding CEO of AFC, as well as a host of other very strong independent directors, Dr. Mobala Johnson and Ridwan Gassant, who is our independent director. We are very proud of our management team. Our success is not by coincidence. It's because we have a great board and a great management team constituted primarily of Nigerians. But we all welcome and are happy to have expatriates in our midst that bring experiences from other geographies to us. So as I talk to the management team, the few people who are around, I'd just like to quickly introduce them for them to stand up and just show their faces. Madam Uto Ukwana, Mrs. Uto Ukwana, Company Secretary of the Year in Nigeria, by the way. Company Secretary for MTN. Very, very seasoned Company Secretary. Ade Ashowo, who is our Chief Marketing Officer. She joined us in August. What I call my troublesome brother, Tobichuko Okigbo. Where is Tobi? Who, by the way, studied in the University of Maiduguri. He studied law in the University of Maiduguri. And who have I missed out in the management team that's present here today? I hope no one else, but there's a lot of other people. Chima from Investor Relations, just show your face quickly. If you are there somewhere, thank you. Wonderful, great to see you. I will move on to slide 10, which really talks about enabling broad socioeconomic development. Look, I speak here in Kano as if I'm in my home because I believe it's my home. Many times people say MTN is a South African company, they come here to just take money, those kind of things. First, I've showed you that the identity of MTN Nigeria is Nigerian from the board to the management. Now, before I get into our contribution to society, I would also say that out of 1,700 staff, permanent staff in MTN Nigeria, only 9 are expatriates. So 99 point whatever that number is are Nigerians. It is managed by Nigerians. And we export more talent out into MTN Group than we bring into MTN Nigeria. So the CEO of MTN in the Republic of Benin is a Nigerian. The group head of strategy in MTN Group is a Nigerian. The group executive in charge of regulatory affairs is a Nigerian. And the list goes on and on and on. But more than that, the government of Nigeria, the various arms of government of Nigeria, including the federal, state, local, etc., has earned more money from MTN than MTN has paid dividends. So if you look at the number on the slides there, we've paid 2.9 trillion naira to various arms of government, and we have invested 3.2 trillion naira in capital expenditure. And the dividends paid to date is 2.3 trillion naira. That's about 600 billion naira less than the government has earned. So we're an important part of this society, and we are very happy to be one. Through our foundation, we've invested over 22.7 billion naira and touched the lives of over 90 million Nigerians through projects related to education, health, boreholes, refurbishment of schools, various projects. So we really are very focused on sharing value with the society in which we live. In the financial services industry, over 166,000 ATMs where you withdraw cash and POS where you also withdraw cash are powered by MTN. We've connected over 160 universities and polytechnics and provide a variety of telecommunication services to large and small corporates. In terms of our partner ecosystem, vendors, our contractors and suppliers have earned over 3.9 trillion naira since our inception, and since we opened dates at the doors of this company in August 2001. Our airtime retailers and vendors, since our inception, have earned over 560 billion naira. Through direct and indirect employment through our retail channel, We have over 2.4 million active retailers. That means in some form or the other, 2.4 million Nigerians are employed directly and indirectly. And we have a local supplier base of 2.7 million local suppliers. Our view is that as long as a Nigerian can perform a service or supply a product to us at the same quality and same price, we will always choose Nigerians over foreigners. We've committed to various projects across Nigeria to further broaden and deepen our stakeholder relationships. We have made a public commitment that we're going to build a state-of-the-art green iconoclastic head office in Lagos, the commercial center. We have signed a 5-year, 1.5 billion naira agreement with the Nigerian Football Federation to help develop in football in Nigeria and really take Nigeria to its rightful place at the top of the football world. As mentioned, we are selling down 14% to local shareholders with a specific focus on retail. And hopefully, we will get our final approval of our banking license shortly. Just quickly, slide 14 shows you, in terms of 4G, that is the internet, high-speed internet, we carry 65% of the traffic in this country, estimated. So we're more than double the size of the second closest competitor. I will not mention their name. And the same goes for our market share in terms of total customers. And we provide a wide range of services to the market. Now, Alhaji Umar, Baba, I want you to look at the table at the bottom right, sir. That is the dividend payout of MTN Nigeria, as verified by not just our auditors, but the various regulators. Between 2018 and 2020, that is 3 years, we have paid out 424 billion naira in dividends to our shareholders. So this is not a fraudulent company that makes promises and shows no returns to shareholders. Already for 2021, we declared our interim dividend of 93 billion. In August, after the sitting of the board meeting, the approval of the half-year account, and within a week of declaring the dividends, we paid 93 billion. We always declare a conservative dividend half-year, and we pay out quite significantly more for the full year, depending on financial performance. Our net promoter score, which is a measure of the perception of customers, we are number 1, and we have been number 1 for 4 years in a row, and we are actually this year expanding the lead we have on the competition. Our margins are now at 52.6% as of Q3 2021, and we intend to maintain our EBITDA margins between 53 and 55%, and we continue to invest, expanding the network aggressively with an even more aggressive program this year and next year to ensure that we really assert our leadership position. We committed to the Honorable Minister of Communications and the Digital Economy that over the next 2 to 3 years, we will spend over 660 billion naira in investing in network infrastructure. We are ahead of the plan. MTN does not make promises to its shareholders, to its regulators, to stakeholders, to the government, to its staff, to its dealers that it does not keep. If we can't do it, we'll tell you we can't do it. Our Q3 2021 financial headlines. Our revenue increased January to September this year versus January to September last year by 23.7%. Data revenue is the main source of growth. We grew by 51.5%. Voice revenue up over 10%. EBITDA margins are 52.6%. And our profit after tax, and we generally pay out by policy 80% of profit after tax, was up 52.7% year on year. This is for the first 3 quarters of the year. So Q4 is still coming into that at 220 billion naira. But that's all about the past. It shows you that we have a history and a track record of solid performance, of meeting our promises of transparency and of governance. Looking ahead, what do we see ahead of us? Ambition 2025, laid out by MTN Group and by MTN Nigeria, focuses on a few things. The base of our success is our industry-leading connectivity solutions. What does that mean? We're the best connection everywhere you go. And historically, that has been for voice calls. Now it is for data. And it's going to continue towards hopefully with 5G data, fiber, home access for your internet, solutions for small companies and large enterprises. But on top of that, we want to build the most valuable platforms. Platforms, what do we mean by that? At the end of the day, if you use a bank app, that's a platform. If you use WhatsApp, it's a platform. A platform that creates an ecosystem that allows the corporate behind it to drive value. So the platforms that we want to build are in the space of fintech, financial technology, in the space of digital, how you can read the Quran online, get daily verses, get investment advice, any type of information, media, entertainment that you want. And of course, our Ayoba app, which has started slow, but in due time, we are sure we'll replace things like WhatsApp on your phone, because it's going to be an Africa-centric, Nigeria-centric communications app. And then the other pillar of our Ambition 2025 is really around creating shared value. We don't want to just enjoy the benefits of all of this ourselves. Aside from being a responsible corporate citizen, we want as many Nigerians to participate in the creation of wealth and the advancement of this country with us. So, I will quickly touch on slide 19. We want, hopefully with the banking license, to have 40 million Momo users, that's 40 million wallet holders on our financial systems once we get final approval. We expect by 2025 we'll have around 80 million active data users, and we'll be connecting homes for your children's education, for your home entertainment. We'll be connecting 5 million home internet broadband users. We will continue to put governance and risk management right at the top of our agenda and priorities. So we want to be in the top quartile of ESG ratings and have a reputation index above 75%, as well as some structural changes to show value. The long and short of what I'm saying effectively is that we are the leading mobile telecommunications provider. Number one market share. That's a fantastic base to continue to build towards the future. We have a strong competitive advantage over the closest competition, and so it's likely we'll take most of the value in the future. Nigeria is an exciting demographic with a youthful population, very technology savvy, and they will adopt new technologies very quickly. With the best infrastructure in the country of any telecoms provider, and that infrastructure includes fiber, our holding of spectrum, our coverage, and our brand, which we are now transforming. You will see in advertisement, it's becoming a more and more Nigerianized means of communication to our customer advertising. We believe we have a very strong brand. This is one of the few companies where you will get both a strong dividend yield and growth at the same time. Very rare. And that's something that's exceptional, and we want you to tap into. And we are very disciplined in how we allocate and use capital, hence improving returns to shareholders. So looking forward, we continue to expect mid to high teens revenue growth, EBITDA margins of 50 to 53%. Over time, we will initially invest more, but over time reduce our capital investment to improve returns to shareholders, and we'll continue to pay 80% of our distributable income to shareholders. I want to say one more thing. Sometimes the biggest creator of value or differentiation between companies is the humility of the management team. The competence and the humility. And because we have diverse shareholders, including a large shareholder of MTN Group, we as a management team will continue to be humble in our approach to serving customers, in our approach to attending to shareholder issues, and in our approach to government and stakeholders. And we think this will differentiate us from many others. There's a compelling story here. We are driving efficiency at all costs. We have the culture to manage the African context and the complexities of operating in Nigeria, and the competence team to do so. And we'll continue to focus on deeper, proactive, and inclusive engagement with all members of society. So I believe that that's a compelling story. And for us, what is most important is that as many Nigerians as possible buy into this offer. It only takes 3,380 naira. And I'm sure many of you cannot just buy for your children and your nieces and nephews and for your parents, but for the staff that work in your companies, for the staff that work in your homes, for old friends that you haven't seen for a while. Finally, I'll remind you to say one thing. As I'm sure most of you use MTN SIM cards, every time you make a little bit, a call or buy a data bundle, a little bit of your expenditure will actually come back to you in dividends if you're a shareholder of MTN. Ladies and gentlemen, Nagode Jewa. Thank you for hosting me here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You can do better than that. A round of applause for the CEO of MTN Nigeria, Mr. Olukotun Toriola. I'm sure that we should be able to give him a befitting name from Kano before he leaves the state this evening. We should be able to give you Khalid. Oh, please, a round of applause for Khalid Olukotun Toriola. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your insightful presentation. I'd like to, at this point, address everyone here as a shareholder, not just a potential shareholder, because this is a massive opportunity. Remember that from 3,000, slightly above 3,000, and you are a shareholder already. Please, a round of applause for MTN Nigeria. Do not forget to visit www.mtnonline.com/PO to get started already. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on, I'd like to bring the man who the ball is in his court. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Modukwe Kajiri, the CFO, he'll be speaking on this public offer. Please, there will be a question and answer session. Make sure you write down your questions if you have any, so that when we get there, you get the explanations. Mr. CFO, sir.
Right. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. Well, I thank Skal for going through the offer. And I'm only going to explain why the offer and how you can go about participating in the offer. So MTN, as Carl said, came to this country 20 years ago, and now it's an opportunity for Nigerians to own part of the company. At the time, it was just a handful of local shareholders with the MTN group. And then over time, there's been a willingness to try to enable as many Nigerians as possible to own shares or be part owner. So at the moment, we have over 68 million subscribers. So how would it have been if 68 million shareholders are also part owners of the company? So the whole idea is to give Nigerians, and again, this is a retail offer. So what it does means is that it's not targeted at the people with big money. It's targeted at you and I, the man in the streets, my brothers, sisters, you know, family, friends, sons, daughters, and all that. The ability to own shares. So that's why it's called a retail offer. And when this deal was announced about 2 weeks ago, what we did is that you had what was an institutional part of it. And the only reason why we did that, because Temi is here, and is the fact that there is a live price of MTN shares on the stock exchange, on the Nigerian exchange. So what the SEC has, in their wisdom, agreed is that there will be a price discovery through what they call a institutional book build. And that is why that process ended on Friday last week. SEC has approved and set a price of 169 naira per share. At the time that price was fixed, it was at a 21 naira discount to the market as at Friday last week. So which means that in buying a share today, there is that inbuilt discount or appreciation, depends on which way you want to look at it. Because the market naturally will adjust to the offer but it will also adjust after the offer is closed. Now, Carl has already explained that it only cost us 3,380 naira to buy 20 shares. In other words, the minimum number of shares that anybody can subscribe to is 20 units. 20 units, and that's valued at 3,380 naira. Now, MTN Group has put 575 million shares in this offer, and they have also said if the offer is oversubscribed, they are prepared to put in an additional 15% of this offer. So that means you have a total of 661 million potentially. So there's no reason why anybody should be afraid that if they subscribe, they will not get something. Now, and that's why it's called a retail offer. The other thing they have done is that the MTN Group has done is the fact that for every 20 shares you buy, if you hold the share for 1 full year, that is 1 year after the share has become yours or 1 year after allotment, on the anniversary of that allotment, MTN will automatically credit you with an extra share. In other words, if you buy 20 shares today, you hold it for 1 year, a year today, you will get an extra share, up to a maximum of 250 shares per individual. So in other words, if you do the mathematics, if you acquire or buy 5,000 shares today, potentially you can get 250 shares as long as you don't sell them within 1 year. So having said that, how do you apply? Our preference is to make your life convenient and easy. You can do it right from your mobile phone. And if you have a mobile phone, just enter the URL www.mtnonline.com/PO and start the process. Like Temia said, within 3 and 5 minutes, you would have subscribed to this offer. Another question may be that I don't have a CSCS account, or I don't have a stockbroker, or I've never owned a share before. Just follow the journey in that app. And that is why anybody, like I said, everybody in this room today can buy shares through that journey. We were coming from Sokoto this morning, and we had 2 babies who bought shares. I mean, their mother, bought shares right in the room through that process. So my appeal is that let's use the digital platforms. They work. And of course, if you also are want to do the traditional way, like our father used in the days of old of paper, there are still forms where you could still download the forms. It's a long journey, but it's still there because there are some people who would rather go to their brokers, want to fill a paper form, or they want to go to their banks. All receiving banks, all receiving agents can also help you with that. Our Momo agents should also be able to help you with that on that journey. So I think that's the most important point I would like to reiterate. It's easy. There is an amazing excitement since this offer opened. And my own appeal to the good people of Kano, a city that is very dear to me, is that we should also participate in this offer and let's not be left behind. My CEO said this is the democratization of share ownership, where everybody, it's all inclusive, can do this. Let's buy for ourselves, our family, our children, our grandchildren, our nephews, our cousins, and everybody around us. Gift somebody some shares, and it will go a long way. When you read about successful companies who, at the beginning, you invested a little amount of money, and over time it's grown to something massive. And that's what the MTN story would be. So with that, I hand you back over to the MC. Thanks for your time. And okay, and Carlos wants to say something.
I made the mistake of not recognizing probably the most important member of the MTN team that's here today, Hajia Mrs. Amina Dambata, the Regional General Manager for the North. She heads the entire North region. And our Treasurer, Ishmael Mwakocha, the money man. I don't know where he is now, but Amina runs the North, and she's from Kano, so she's a daughter of the soil. She's our host. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. CEO, and thank you, the Chief Financial Officer, for that wonderful, insightful presentation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on the strength of what the CEO has done, I'd like to make a few more recognitions. Permit me to very respectfully once again welcome our father, Alhaji Farouk Umar. He is the President, Association for the Advancement of the Rights of Nigerian Stakeholders. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Also with us this afternoon is Alhaji Hamza Fanda. Alhaji Hamza is the CEO of Fantel Nigeria Limited, an MTN trade partner. Alhaji Fanda, are you here? Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. We also like to recognize very specially Alhaji Faisa Imam, the CEO, Airtime Networks Limited, an MTN trade partner. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much for sitting patiently. Alhaji Mohammed Bello is the CEO, Bello Kano Nigeria Limited. BelloKano.com, actually. Another very popular MTN trade partner. In our Bello Kano. Please, a round of applause for Bello Kano. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a few more recognitions and we're done. Alhaji Shaibu Dahiru is the GM SDU Behi. Thank you very much. It's kind of the write-up. I can't really progress with it, but thank you very much. We appreciate you for coming. We also have in our midst Alhaji Mansour Haladu. Thank you very much. Wherever you're seated, we welcome you very specially. Engineer Rabiu Haruna, the CEO, Combined Telecommunications, you're welcome. Thank you very much. We also would like to welcome and recognize Mansour Haladu. Okay, I've done that. Thank you. And just before we move on, I'd like to recognize Ambassador Mohammed Salisu Ibrahim. He is the CEO and MD Yao Dagobe Communications Limited, MTN trade partner. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Alhaji Abubakar Khalid Haladu Kano, I cannot progress with that. He's the CEO, Rahama Communications, MTN trade partner. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Mohammed Khalid Idris, representing the CEO of Sanat Investment. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And very quickly, Alhaji Surajo, thank you very much. Bello Zakari Mohammed, thank you very much. For want of time, I would like to stop here for now. Thank you. I hope you're having a very good and informative time here at the public offer. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite another key player. He'll be coming to handle the question and answers segment. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the head of Investor Relations, MTN Nigeria. Mr. Chima Nwokoma, if you're ready, we are ready for you. Please, a round of applause for the head of Investor Relations, MTN Nigeria, Mr. Chima Nwokoma. You're welcome. Please come have an usher here to take the mic around. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, first I would like to thank our Chief Executive Officer for taking time to tell us about MTN, our journey so far, and our future plans. I also like to thank our Chief Financial Officer for telling us about the reason why we're here, which is the public offer. Now the floor is open for questions. If you have a question, please indicate by raising up your hand. I have Mr. Farouk. Let's take the mic to him.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Farouk Umar. I happen to be one of the directors of Nigerian Exchange Limited, but also I am more known as the president of the Association for the Advancement of the Rights of Nigerian Shareholders. So today I prefer to wear my shareholders cap because this is an offer that would require me to educate and invite our shareholders here in Kano. It's not only Kano. The association is a national association. We have members more in the north. I will begin by comparing your investing in shares with that of buying a property. When you buy shares, you get dividend. And when you buy property, you get rent. But what is your experience with tenants? The time will come and you may not get the rent. You may end up in rent tribunal. But when you buy shares, once MTN declares a dividend, you must get your dividend within 48 hours. So you can see the value in buying shares. When you buy shares, like MTN is now doing, if you keep your shares up to 1 year, you are going to get a bonus. When you buy a property, even if you are the governor of Kano State, Alhaji Umar Abdullah Ganduje, who is the commissioner of lands, can you add one meter to that property? You cannot, unless you buy an adjacent land. You cannot. So, you know, the shares will multiply through bonus while the land remain the same size. So you see, this is the second advantage. The third advantage I have noticed in my 30 years investment in the capital market is this. If I have shares, if you have MTN shares, you want to sell, tomorrow you get your money. That day you sell, it takes 2 + 1 for you to get your money. Now, if you want to sell a house in Kano, first of all, MTN has a fixed price in the market. So nobody is going to ask you, no, reduce the price. And you don't need a lawyer to go to Kanjis to ensure that it belongs to you. You don't have to get governor's consent to sell. So many people who have property in Kano, it may take you 2 years before you get a buyer. But with your MTN shares, the day you want to sell, it is sold. As long as you are willing to sell at the price of that day. Is this not an advantage to you? So that is why people should invest in shares. I resigned from my public office in 1991. I had only 5,000 naira in my bank account. I started buying shares, 500, 600, and today it is history. So I want to encourage you to invest. Now, this is an era of technology. You have seen that nobody here can survive 30 minutes without a phone. Am I right? Even somebody selling akara on the road today has a phone. So you can see it is like food. In some cases, it is even more than food. Look at what happened in Zamfara. The network was removed because of the insurgency, And talk to anybody from Zampara and let him tell you how he felt for this period that there was no network. So it is an essential commodity. Now, let me ask you, please, how many of you here, and be honest, how many of you have MTN line? Raise your hand. I'm sure there are some that do not have. Now, you must pay yourself. Glow is not listed. You know, so it is like a family business. You don't get anything out of it. But today, MTN is listed, has been listed. Shares, Nigerians are shareholders. So pay yourself. Even if you have a line that is not an MTN line, and now you are a shareholder of MTN, you must change your line to MTN. Because you will now pay yourself. Whatever data you buy, it is going to return to you. And that is why I'm encouraging everybody to make sure that you invest. I know time is against us. Now, there is this issue of buying for your children. You know, we did this with AP offer, with National Oil, and it has become a problem. Once you buy for your child, now the signature is not his or her, it's not a signature, and dividend will be sent in the name of the child, and you don't have an account. So my advice to you, if you are buying for your child, put your account number, put your signature. It can be a joint account. And I think in this way, you will not have what we have now today as unclaimed dividend. Today in Nigeria, there is so much unclaimed dividend. And part of the reason is the fact that people have used different names they have bought for their children. I'm not the only speaker, so I want to close my speech by appealing to you to ensure that you buy and don't be a trader for now. This is another reason. People will buy 3, 4, 5 weeks, they want to sell. It may, and then it doesn't pay you. You should determine why you are investing. And I'm happy that with 2 things. One, they are giving bonus after a year, which will force maybe some of us to hold the stock for 1 year. And secondly, we have to commend them for what they have introduced, the digital platform. This is the first time we are seeing this in Nigeria. We commend MTN and we commend NGX, though I'm part of NGX, and we hope other offers will be treated in this way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mr. Farouk. So in the interest of time, we will move fast and take 2, 3 more comments. If you have any comment, please indicate, and please keep it brief. Let's take the mic to him, please, so that I can be fast. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much to the management of MTN, who have spoken so eloquently, and the talk was honestly quite mesmerizing. I am architect Ali Mukhtar, practicing architecture here in Kano. Let me also say categorically that some of the 2 things I'm going to raise may be a little difficult or even awkward, so to say. But first of all, to the simple ones. I've seen, or I heard you say is this you are now basically targeting retailers, which is 3,200. I want to know whether you have a ceiling that I cannot go beyond. And if there's any ceiling that I should not go beyond that, let me. I know you said you have so many subscribers. So, sir, we now move to 102. Let me now say, let me move to 102, what I may consider difficult questions. First of all, number one, I know, and we all must take responsibility, especially anybody involved in issues of telecommunications and so on, that a lot of our young ones spend a lot of time on their telephone, so much that a lot of quality time and their life is virtually, in fact, being dictated a lot by the telephone they use. And of course, I know there were questions to Facebook, to Mark Zuckerberg, of similar such negative consequences. First of all, is MTN aware that a lot of the use have actually been, so to say, controlled now by their telephones? And are there any mitigating things that MTN can do to at least address some of these issues so that we would not allow our use to be completely adrift and be virtually slaves to the telephone, which is what is happening now? Then finally, I also saw the list of the board of directors. I know actually the subscribers that we have here in the north are very, very significant in number, of course, because of the population. But honestly, when I saw the list and the photographs of the board of directors, I could only identify A.B. Mahmoud, whom I know, is related to. And to be honest, from what I saw, I was not able to read all the names, but I believe the significant number, or most of the board members, are from the southern part of this country. I don't know what is the history for that or what is the reason, and whether there is anything that you need to do, because we have such a huge subscriber base here in the north. We must do something to improve the board of directors in the north. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir, for your various questions. I'll take the first question, while Carl will take the remaining questions. And your question was having to do, is there any maximum, I think, limits? Well, in most share offers, there's no maximum limit. But the way the market operates is that if there's an oversubscription, there has to be an allotment. And the allotment is going to be according to the guidelines or as approved by SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. So there are different methodologies they use, but on the balance, there will be some pro rata allocation to that. The only condition to take part in this is the minimum, which is the 20 shares. So anything, what we can sit confidently to say is that anybody who subscribes to that minimum will get it. But what is the upper limit? Is a function of demand and supply. If it's oversubscribed, I said that's why the MTN group, the selling shareholder, has said that these 575 million that they're putting as Series 1 of this secondary offer, they are prepared to put an additional 15% on top just to cater for whatever potential oversubscription. And what I should have said earlier is that, and I think Carla said it, MTN Group wants to sell 14% over a period of time. This offer is about 2.68% of that 14%. So there's still a long way ahead of that journey. So there's only a minimum, there's no maximum. Carl.
Thank you, Architect. My apologies, Elijah, I didn't get the name because the microphone quality was, but I'll come and see you after. 2 points that you made. One is about the excessive use of internet by the youth. My daughter is 22 years old, and she has just graduated from university. So for the last few years when she's been given a telephone, I truly understand, raising a child, like many of us, that it's challenging to control negative influences on our children. There generally tends to be three things that affect the behaviors of children. One is the circle of friends that they keep. Another is their access to money, whether it's money to buy another data bundle and spend all your time on gaming and Facebook. And the third thing is the involvement of the parents in participation. We like to believe that we're a socially responsible organization, but to have the correct influence on any child that we're raising, as they say, it takes a village to raise the child. So MTN can do some part of it, but a lot of it actually relies on the environment in which they grow up, which is the parents, the friends, the circles, the expectations you set to them, for them from the minute that they're born. There are multiple methods in which you can block certain quantities of access or certain types of access for children. So if you are buying them their phone, there are things that you can do on the phone to set up the quantity of data they can consume. You can buy them daily bundles, and you can give them the bundles. And then there are ways that you can ensure that they do not have access to adult content. But the regulations in Nigeria thus far, even though we have full respect for individual beliefs, religions, and faiths, but the regulation says we have to provide open internet access to all population. Aside from that, we are part in MTN group, together with GSMA, part of an association which actually actively blocks content that is illegal, particularly content that are harmful to children, very disgusting content, let me call it what it is. And we will work and continue to be open on that. And maybe Adia will assist us in ensuring that we communicate the various means in which we can allow parents to have controls through family accounts to what their children are doing. But we are listening, and we're going to take it back and make sure that concerned parents like you have a means to influence and control what children are doing. I'm a parent, as I told you. My daughter just graduated, and I understand all the various bad influences that can be out there. So thank you for that comment. If the Chima can ensure that the board of directors presentation is put up, I just want to comment on the board of directors of MTN Nigeria. First of all, Mr. Ralph Mupita is the group CEO, so he's a Zimbabwean-born South African, that's from MTN Group, representing the current 79% shareholder. Mr. Ridwan Hassant is an senior independent director and the independent chair of the audit committee, so also non-Nigerians. Jens Schulte-Bochum, bottom right, COO, German. Cholo Molefe, CFO, South African. Freddy Muma, CFO, South African. Transmona PC, South African. So that leaves us with some people that are Nigerians. The only person from what is called the Core East Igbo tribe is actually the chairman, Dr. Ernesto Ndukwe. Then you have two people, or maybe three, from the Niger Delta, okay? Mr. Michael Ajuku, who is from Delta. I've just forgotten his Ibuzo. Mr. Andrew Ali, British Nigerian from Edo State. I think his father was the former governor, and Mrs. Komoibi. So three people from what I'd call the Niger Delta. Two northerners, Abi Mahmoud, SAN, I believe an indigenous of Kano, and Mr. Mohammed Ahmad, OON, who's also from the north. And Fema Pencom DG, I think the founding Pencom DG. So that's the mix. We choose our directors. We do look at diversity. Make no mistake. We want the country equally represented. But we look at competence as well. And it's something that's going to evolve. But if you really look at it along, we tend to classify ourselves into 6 geopolitical zones: Southwest, Southeast, South, which include Delta, Northeast, North Central, etc. We think it's never going to be an ideal representation, but we have tapped into the best skills available in the country, and we'll continue to evolve this going forward. And we take note of it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Carl. You can also ask your question in Hausa if you feel like doing so. We'll have 2 more questions, just 2. So I have one person.
While the microphone is moving over, we have other members of management team that are from the north as well, but they are going to Gombe and Adamawa for the roadshow. But I came personally with the CFO to Kano and Sokoto specifically. Thank you.
We should have a lady asking a question.
Hello, my name is Tijjani Mohammed Musa. I am the CEO of Soundword and Site Communications Nigeria Limited. Actually, my question is about this public offer, is how the youth who are usually negligent about investing in stuffs like this, but highly indulgent in using the network, are being convinced to invest their money, not just in data purchase, but in buying the company as well. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I think the CMO should take that.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the question, sir. So I think the choice of technology to drive this public offer directly answers the question that you just asked. Even on Twitter, you could tell from the comments as soon as messages about the potential public offer came out, people were saying, okay, I hope there's an app where, we will be able to download and access this offer. So I think that the presence of such easy to use, invest in 3 minutes, very quick technology makes it possible for the youth to engage in investing culture and build their own wealth. Thank you. That's a great question.
Thank you, Adia. I saw a hand at the back. Okay.
Yes. Good afternoon, the management MTN. My name is Sani Isa Ibrahim. Actually, my question, one was answered because of the on the limit of the shareholder. But my question is, what is the time frame? And is it immediately after we leave here, the Apple is on, or there will be a time will be communicated? Thank you.
Okay, I think I can answer that. The offer opened yesterday, December 1st, 2021, and it will close on December 14, Tuesday, 2021. So it's going to run for a 2-week period. 2-week period, okay? Thank you. Okay. Let's take... Sorry, there's a hand there.
Okay.
We'll come to you, sorry. We'll come to you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hafiz Musa. I come from Pam Center, CEO, founder, IBIPS General Enterprises. My question is that about this public offer as you build for the development of your technology provided for public to benefit, for public for investors, or this public offer for investors. So is there any office to direct people to go and register? Because some of the people, they don't know how they register themselves. Or you have any agent, or you have agent in different locations that people, they can visit them to register for them. So that is my question.
Thank you very much. So we have various platforms through which you can participate in this share offer. If you go to any bank, you'll be able to pick up the application form, complete, make payment, and submit. If you go to your stockbroker, if you have any around you, they will give you the form, you fill it, and submit. If you use your phone, you go to the app store, you can download the app, Primary Offer app. You download it, you register, and you're able to buy shares. You can also visit our website, www.mtnonline.com/PO. If you get there, you have all the information you require to be able to participate. You can also download the form from the page. You can also fill the form online. When you're done, you print it and go and submit at the bank and make payment. So we provided several options to make it easy for people to participate in this offer. Thank you.
Let me try and explain the Hausa. Assalamu alaikum once again. With every kowani public offer da ake, that means in company ta zo tana sai da hannun jari, yawanci akwai stock brokers, su ne agents. Akwai a few a garin nan, I think Kundila, APT, all of those ones suna nan garin. That's the traditional way da za ka je ka cika form ka sai hannun jari. Amma yanzu wannan, you can do it online ko a wurin broker din ne. Zaka iya zuwa wurin banki, any bank branch. You can actually apply daga any bank branch and they act as agents. But kamar yadda muka ce, the easiest way shine online kai onto this platform. It's very simple. They will ask you kind of the CSCS number, mbaka da shi. Can they create one for you? If you say yes, say I'm create an account. Abun da za su tambaye ka shine za su tambaye ka BVN number ɗinka, date of birth, the phone number. In kasa wannan, it will take you and draw down details in kana BVN daga banki. Sannan sai in kana da CSS number sai kasa, sai dauka kai CSS application. Sannan sai ka biya cash, I mean by your card ko transfer. Shikenan sai ka jira bayan 2 weeks in offer in your closing. Zai allotment within 24 hours. Then you know whether or not you're a shareholder. So the best thing shine ka je online, the BVN number ɗinka, date of birth, phone number shikenan. Or kuma CSCS account. Mbaka da shi, you can open it immediately on that platform. Mbaka ba, akwai stock brokers da yawa a cikin Kano. Just walk into any of their offices. Ko ka je cikin stock exchange ma akwai ina ganin suna nan can't remember the house now. Dan wajen runabout. They are there. You can also, they will guide you. Akwai brokers on that floor that can help you. But I think the easiest thing again, you go online, it is very easy. And we made it easy so that you don't have to rely on anybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, there's a hand there. So can we get the mic too? Okay, I understand his question has been addressed. Okay, cool.
Thank you. I'm a youth copper, so I came across this yesterday when we attended a program for the CBN. So I'm Michael Jerry. So I immediately, when I went back home, I went in search of it with a friend of mine. I told him about it. At first, I thought it was maybe not actually true. So because I was surprised about it being a public offer, a primary offer. So when we went online, then I discovered, I came across the website. So I went online and I almost made the purchase. So I stopped at the place where they required my ATM because I wanted to confirm. So yes, so I wanted to confirm before I make the payment. So eventually I called, I made contact. So eventually I was directed, I'll send an email and I'm here. So my first question is, I want to know, because I'm going through the MTN online, they say that the list there is 20 and then the maximum I saw there is 250. So I want to know, I don't know, I want to know if there is a maximum based on what, because the answer that they gave here now is that there's no maximum, but from what I saw there from the online, there was a maximum. And then secondly, the second question I want to ask is there a possibility after making purchase of them for whatever you agreed to, is there a possibility of eventually not being allotted any of the shares? Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the question. So let me repeat myself for the sake of emphasis. The minimum number of shares anybody can subscribe to is 20 units. You can then increase your subscription in multiples of 20. So 20, 40, 60 to whatever number. So that's the first thing. So back to the response to the architect's question. There is no maximum. Okay, that's one. Two is that what the 250 you are referring to there is an offer, a bonus that MTN Group, that is the selling shareholder, is saying that as an incentive for you owning shares in MTN Nigeria, if you hold those shares, these shares that are being offered today, for 1 year, after 1 year of the allotment, for every 20 shares you have, they will give you 1 extra share free. Okay? Up to a maximum of 250. That's the bonus. So which means, therefore, that if you subscribe for 5,000 shares in this offer, and assuming the offer is fully subscribed, in other words, there's no oversubscription, and you get an allotment of 5,000 shares. If you hold those shares for 1 year, automatically on the 3rd of December, or whenever the allotment is done, MTN Group will give you 250 shares, bringing your shares to 5,250. Now, if on the other hand, you bought 10,000 shares, the maximum bonus you will always get is still that 250. Do you understand? So that is why the bonus is capped at 250 shares per subscriber, but you can apply for as many shares as you want. So if you do 100,000, you still get 250 bonus shares, as long as those 100,000 shares are held for 1 year since you purchased. So that's why you get the 250. The 250 is not a reflection of how many shares you can buy. It's just an incentive for you to hold the shares for at least 1 year and do not cost you anything. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Can I just... The reason we structured the incentive is like this. If this offer was about making money, finding some strength for the balance sheet source of funding, we could have filled it up through the institutional book build. The very skilled people in the market will know that the 10% that we started with on the institutional book build was many times oversubscribed. We're not trying to give a chunk of MTN Nigeria to a few large institutions. We want as many people as possible to hold shares, however small you can afford. That's why we are going on roadshows all over the country, Gombe, Adamawa, everywhere we can go to sell directly to investors, retail investors, so they really understand it, so we can answer the questions, and those bonuses so that we can spread it around to as many people as possible. Otherwise, one person comes in, buys 5 million, 30 million shares, get a huge bonus. No, it is to get to as much as possible to the common man. But even if you don't get a bonus, I'm very convinced, and I'm not sure I mentioned this, I took a loan from a bank to buy MTN shares myself. And I'm going to pay interest on that loan. I did it because I believe as a shareholder of MTN, I'm going to make money. That's why I did it. And nobody has better visibility of the potential of the business than myself and the management team. I took a significant loan. Alaji was declared, announced on the stock exchange, approved by the board of directors, and I did it in January. My appointment was announced end of October. In January, I bought shares. I started this job on the 1st of March. And I'm more and more convinced I'm going to take another loan and buy again now before this offer closes. So we really believe in this. Thank you. But it's for the retail. It really is for the retail. If you understand the capital markets, we could easily have sold everything to institutional investors. We said, no, every Nigerian must participate in this. Every corner of the country, and we'll go everywhere in the country to explain to all investors possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. It's like he needs some clarifications. What's the second question?
I asked, is there a possibility of, after buying the share, of not being allotted the share? That's what I'm asking.
No, that possibility does not exist. You be allotted the shares you purchase. Okay? Okay, I think my job is over. I'll hand over to the MC to round off. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Chima. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, time is fast spent. But before we move to the next item on the program, I'd like to very quickly and respectfully make one more recognition. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to very specially recognize a former MD of Allied Bank. I'm talking about the Serkin Shanun Kano. Is Alhaji Shehu Mohammed of the Kano Emirate. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you very much. You're welcome. We appreciate you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite to the microphone the regional GM, MTN Nigeria, Mrs. Amina Dambata, to please come forward for the closing remarks. Please, a round of applause for her. Thank you very much, ma'am. You're welcome.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is my honor to be amongst you, to be back home amongst my sisters and brothers, for the people of Kano, and to thank each and every one of you for sparing your time to be out here today. Most especially, I would like to start by thanking our honorable guests. We have the Sarkin Shanu Rankaidade, we are pleased to have you here, and also the president of the shareholder investment, Dr. Umar Farouk, who is also here and who has spoken so eloquently. I mean, what he explained, the analogy of the house and the shares, you know, it's very, very true and very, very close to reality of what we see. So thank you very much for that. And I think also, most importantly, I would like to thank my management team, Carl Toriola, for being here. Thank you very much, Khalid, for taking out your time. I mean, he said he wanted to come to Kano first. That was the honest truth. But then because of logistic reason, we had to start from Sokoto and then come to Kano. And also the management team who accompanied him, thank you very much for all being here. Some of you, this is your first time of being in Kano. I hope you would, it's a place that you would want to come back to again. So anytime we invite you, you will say, yeah, let's pick up our bag and go to Kano. Thank you very much. And then also to Alaji Jalo, seated here, thank you for coming all the way from Lagos to be here to explain. I mean, you've added color and flavor to the explanation. Being somebody who is very much educated in that field, I mean, we've learned a lot from him. And the CEO, NX, is not here, but NGX, thank you very much also for being here, alongside the partners and the crew who all came. And most importantly, our partners who have been with us from the beginning. Airtime Network, Fantel Nigeria Limited, our partners whom we opened our doors in Kano with. So thank you very much for being here with us. And also our numerous other partners. I mean, you are all here. I can't list everybody. And to my team, the staff, Abdulaziz especially, and Benga from marketing, who have been on their feet to set up this place, very beautiful ambience. We thank you all for doing all the hard work. And also, I will not forget Muiz. Why do you like to hide? Come up here. Muiz, come here. Seriously, I'm not stepping down the podium if you don't come and stand by me. Thank you very much. So to Muiz also, for putting us all together. These are the people behind the scenes. You know, when they do Grammy Awards, the actors come, those are the people we know. But the real people, the directors. So this is one of them. Thank you very much, Muiz. And to also the Kano people for coming out. We appreciate all of you. And I hope that, you know, as they say in debates, I hope we have fully convinced you to invest whatever you have to invest. I mean, it's something that is reachable. 3,000, dubu uku, nera, dubu, less than 4,000. Just a little bit away from 3,500. Invest in MTN, and I can assure you, you would never regret investing in this. And it's pure pure halal, pure halal. I mean, these days to get halal business to do, it's a bit difficult, but this is pure halal. I have spent about 19 years in MTN this year, and I'm so excited that I have an opportunity to be part of an owner of this company, so that when I leave or when I retire or when I expire from this world, at least my kids can say, I have something where my mom spent most of her working life in. So I urge all of you to start clicking. I thank you, Mr. Sorry, I forgot your name, the last gentleman who spoke, who has even gone further to purchase. That was excellent. So let us all join him. Thank you very much. Mungode sosai Allah isaka jazakallahumma khair. Okay, so we have a short video to show you, and it's very demonstrative. I mean, once you watch this video, I can assure you, it's something that can explain how to go about it. Mr. Jallo mentioned it's a very easy thing, 3 things you require, but please let us endure to watch the video for just a few seconds. Thank you very much.
Welcome to Primary Offer. This is an explainer video to help you navigate the Primary Offer web app to buy MTN shares. You can access the web app via www.primaryofferng.com. You can also download the Primary Offer app on Google Play Store and App Store. If this is your first time coming to the site, click on Create an Account in the top right-hand corner. Enter your BVN and your date of birth and click Continue. Your information should automatically be generated. Fill out the rest of the boxes on this page and tick the relevant box at the bottom and click Continue. Confirm that the email address displayed is correct and click Proceed. If not, click on the No, Let Me Change button. You will be sent an OTP. Please check your email address and click OK. Don't forget to check your junk mail. Your user sign-up is successful. Please check that your email address is correct and enter your OTP and click OK. Your user verification is successful. Log in using your email address and password. You will land on the offerings page. Click on the MTN offer. Read the overview and all the details pertaining to the offer. Click on the text highlighted blue to read the shelf prospectus, the pricing supplement, and the term sheet. Once you have read all the details, you can now choose your shares. Enter the amount of shares you would like to purchase in the subscribed units box and tick to confirm you have read and accepted the terms and conditions. In order to make payment for the transaction, you will need to have a CSCS number. If you don't, click on the No I Don't button to create one. On the next page, click Proceed to create your CSCS number. Confirm if you have a preferred stockbroker by moving the toggle button to the left or right to select Yes or No. If yes, select your preferred broker from the drop-down menu. Fill in the required information and click Submit or Continue. On the pop-up screen, click on OK to proceed to update your bank details. Please click on the drop-down to select your bank and input your account number and primary offer login password. Once you enter your bank details, if the details are correct, you will see a message stating Update Successful. Click Proceed. Fantastic! Your CSCS account is now in progress. You can now purchase shares. Click on the OK button to be directed to the transaction page to review your order. Please tick on the terms and conditions and click Pay Now. Choose how you want to pay. You have various options such as card, bank, and USSD. Once you've made payment, you will be directed back to the transaction to see your payment status. Check your email for your transaction notification. Congratulations, you have submitted an application for MTN shares. You will be notified once shares are allotted to you after the offer closes.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have made my decision. I don't know about you, but I want to believe that this is clear enough, and it will form the backdrop for you to decide to be part of this exciting future. Thank you very much. My job here is done this evening, but before I invite the head of public relations, permit me to appreciate the team from MTN. The CEO MTN Nigeria, Mr. Kar Toriola. Thank you very much, sir, for sitting very patiently. Please, a round of applause for him. Also to Modupe Kadiri, Chief Financial Officer, CFO. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. The Executive Officer, Nigeria Exchange Limited. I understand he stepped out. Please, a round of applause for him. We appreciate him. And thank you very much, Mr. Jalo Waziri, Chief Executive Officer, Central Securities Clearance Systems. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We appreciate you. To all of you for coming out, we appreciate you, and we hope that you will be part of this exciting new business beginning. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to invite on stage Mr. Funsho Aino. He's the Head of Public Relations, MTN Nigeria, sir. Okay. So we're going to have a photo session. Don't be in a hurry to step out. So I'll be taking instructions from you. Who is coming forward for the photo session? Okay, all right. So thank you very much. My name is Ajebo. It has been a pleasure, attending to you this evening. Thank you very much. This is wishing you a safe journey back to your various destinations. Sound, are you ready? National anthem. Shall we all rise for the national anthem, please?
We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us, walking with us, staying with us. Now, as we move, we want to invite you to own a share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime. We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us, walking with us, staying with us. Now, as we move, we want to invite you to own a share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime. We want to thank you for coming on this journey with us, walking with us, staying with us. Now, as we move, we want to invite you to own a share of this new adventure with us. Buy your share of MTN through the issuing houses, stockbrokers, banks, and primary offer app by Nigerian Exchange NGX. Welcome to the journey of a lifetime.